saying, Michelle's in the background there, we've decided to do a few simple mods right off the bat with our camper. We would like to add a shelf in this large corner cabinet here. You can see the top of it is basically blank, and that's a lot of wasted space. So we're going to put a shelf in there.
And then I wanted a shelf over here.
In this cabinet as well.
And then there's one more.
Because you open this cabinet, it's got a shelf.
Yeah.
And it's great. So we're going to do the same thing over here.
And then I did have him already add
A pop-up plate.
Pop-up plate.
And we have a pop-up bowl somewhere.
We haven't got the pop-up bowl.
We haven't found it yet.
We haven't found it yet. And extra towel bar.
Towel bar.
There's one on the
stove,
but I wanted a second one for the dish rag.
Right.
And then there's been things on YouTube where this table will slide out. So I had Jim add this strap. It's not the prettiest thing, but
it's like a kid's safety strap for a refrigerator.
Yeah, and it'll keep the table from, once we start using it. In the beginning they said it's not an issue, but the more you use the table, the looser it gets, as far as sliding, it's easier. And then it wants to slide out as you're traveling. And then another quick thing I had him do was hang the Kleenex box.
Okay.
So he hung that, and then he's in the process of hanging the shower soap dispenser. Right now it's just taped, but we're glued. But we're worried when it bounces and this thing's full. So he's going to have to add a couple screws. And then up here, he's added the Kleenex for me because I have really bad allergies.
Kleenex box.
And sinuses. And then I want to add a shelf here and a shelf there. And he's going to do the same thing on his side. We don't really use a lot of hang-up clothes when we're traveling. So he's going to fix it so we can put our clothes in here.
And these bins up here, this was an open area. So we found these bins. And they're good for storing things, but clothes, not so much.
Yeah, especially Jim's clothes because...
My clothes are bigger.
Yeah, well, you're 6'4". They should be bigger. Your shorts definitely won't fit up there. And then I was just showing him this bed is really hard to lift. We may have to get some... Adjust them or get stronger hydraulic lifts.
Yeah.
Struts. Is that what they're called?
Yep.
So that's just a few of the mods that we're doing right now. And we'll show you anything else that we plan on doing.
You put a key holder up there.
Oh yeah, we did put a key holder up here. Oops, sorry.
Right above the control unit.
So we have that installed. And right now we're letting flies in the camper.
Oh.
And then inside the closet here, we added some extra hooks.
Just some extra hooks.
Just some extra hooks.
First
and that one there is a bigger hook that I can hang a broom from. Because this one here it has a little hook, but it also sits right on the shelf, which is perfect. You don't have to do like anything special. Every time before we'd have to run to the shower and strap our stuff down, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to show you, Jim.
We'll show you the mods when they're done.
Well, I'll show them how you did it too.
We'll be able to do it this way, not to build two cabinets.
There is a board back there. You can see it now that I pulled it out.
I wonder what it covers. Speaker?
Maybe. Maybe something to do with this. Sliders. I don't know. I have no idea. There's a panel back there is what we're talking about, if you can see it. So he's going to use these boards for there. And then he has a board cut, and we're just doing the fitting. And then we'll show you once we get it up there how we did it.
And if you look kind of closer, coming out of the shadow, see how thick the wall is? It's basically a piece of paneling, foam, and Asdel. But that's how the camper is constructed right there. Inch and a half thick.
Oh, cool.
Kind of measures. It's a support board.
So that's a support board. It goes clear down, and he'll do the same thing in the next cabinet. He's got the shelf in here, but he's going to put a piece of trim right here along this board here. And it'll have a little ledge so the stuff doesn't fly off like this one does. And the same way with this one. He's got the shelf built, if you can see that. Turn another. So he's got the shelf built, and we're just going to put a piece of trim with a little edge. Inside of the cabinet is finished. Nice little trim on there, on that shelf. It's done. The shelf is done. So Jim put shelves in the bedroom. This side is done. And he's working on his side. It'll look identical. He's got one in. Can you move for a second? He's got one in, and he's got the second one to do. And then he's going to put his clothes in. So that'll be all nice and done.
Remove this panel where the speaker wiring goes.
Next mod is
to install TPMS sensors on the trailer, which will work through our console here on the Chevy, or the Chevy truck.
Yeah, Chevy truck.
The Chevy sells these sensors that actually work through here, and they're sort of expensive comparatively to the was it Lippert brand? I don't know what brand. But a lot of people have Chevy reward points, which we did, so it brought the cost down to like $60, $65.
Yeah.
Maybe $70 for us to get them installed in the tire. And these are not ones that just screw on. These are installed inside the tire. So
you have to take it to your Chevy dealer with the truck and the trailer, because
they have to program it and
get it all nice and hooked up for you. So that's where we're headed today.
For us, it's fairly cheap because we had the points, and I think it's a better way to go instead of having another screen in the truck.
Right.
You know, so I like the idea.
So you can see on our trailer, on our navigation system, we have a button that says trailer name. It tells us the total mileage. It's default. And then we have all these other little alert things that we can put on it. So I don't know if that's where the monitor system is going to be or not yet, but we'll find out when we get back. So we're not going to be able to show them actually hooking it up because of liability reasons. There's such a glare. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So that's what they did. It comes right across our navigation system.
Got some of these stainless steel screens that go around the water heater and the heater itself, the outlets, to keep bugs out and other critters. And then we also got a bag. It's a cover for the tongue, the electric tongue jack. This is going to cover it. So we're going to see what that's like. I got this from Bouge RV. And these were just Chinese branded screens. In fact, they call them flying animal screen for water heater. New. And also I'm going to put this piece of aluminum. Let me show you where it's going to go. If you look at these openings, on our last trailer we wore out this rubber piece because we have everything in totes, and you drag totes over all the time and it wears out this piece of rubber. So I want to put this in here to reinforce it off the bat so that we don't do that again. So anyway, 3 mods here. We're gonna, should be fairly quick ones. This one's gonna take a little bit of fabrication, but it won't be too bad. And one I'm just putting a bag over the tongue jack. So here's the Bouge RV cover for the tongue jack. Now I ordered the one that had the D-rings on it to hang your chains on. And it's pretty nice. It says Bouge RV here, but that's the only place it says Bouge RV. And it's got a place to pull it tight. And the only thing I don't know is if you can actually have this on as you're traveling. No one really says in any of the comments or it doesn't say in the description. So I'm kind of confused about that. It looks like all you do is slip it over. And then it's got a place your hookup chains. Which will keep it pretty secure while it's sitting here, of course. And it's got these ties, cord tighteners. You tighten it up. And my guess is, even with the chains off, this will stay on as we travel. It sure looks like it will. I'm not sure how good it's made to hold these chains up, but we'll find out how long it lasts. I like it. Kind of protect our tongue jack. We didn't protect it the last time, and it started getting a little noisy towards the end. Okay, here's the first screen that I'm going to try to put on, and this one's going to go on the heater right here. And as you can see in the package, there's a piece of silicone. This goes around the edge. It goes around the edge. And a tool. See a tool there to put it on with. Now I put these on before, and they can either go on real smooth, real quick, or they can be kind of a pain. So we're going to see how this one works out. The first step is to install the silicone ring on the outside edge like this. And I want to have it so that the joint for it is at the bottom. And this is square, so any side could have been the bottom. Okay, one thing I noticed when I was taking it out of the package, it came with 2 springs that hold it on. So I put the gasket around it. That just protects the paint, I think. And then there's this. You can look real close, there's a spring here on the top and a spring there on the bottom. And you use this tool here to put it on with. And it's fairly easy, you just have to kind of do some fishing. Basically you put it inside the ring. So I got the gasket on. This is on the other side, this is the water heater. I got the gasket on, the silicone gasket. Silicone gasket is actually really soft, so I'm hoping it lasts really well through the Florida heat and sun. But anyway, you want to kind of press it on, just see how it's going to fit. So it's going to go over that vent hole like this. And if you look inside there, I have 2 springs to work with. So I think I'll put one towards the bottom and up here one towards the top. And basically you put your 2 springs in place. Hold this upside down. See the 2 springs in place, one on top, one on bottom, one on top, one on bottom. So use the included tool, and what I do, I just poke it right through. Okay, I got it upside down. And what I meant by upside down, let me show you. If you look in here, inside the spring, you'll see there's the bottom bend. See how it's bent over across the circumference of the spring? You want that to be the part that you actually stretch out to put this on. If that makes any sense at all. So it's gonna hang, this is gonna be hanging from here. And I'm going to use my tool to go through this wire mesh and push on that bar down there. See that bar? So when you push on that, you can actually adjust where this goes. And it'll make sense if you actually have one of these, I suppose. but it's really not that hard. And I have them both upside down, believe it or not. So I got the first one in place already. Here's the second one through the mesh, and you catch the spring, and you have to kind of look inside there, see where the spring is at. Then you hook it, push it in so it hooks over the grate that's already there. It's fairly easy, and I like this silicone. It's the first one I ever had that had the silicone ring, and I bought it because these are painted. My last ones were painted also, and they never really caused any problems, but I just like the idea of having the silicone to protect the paint on the doors. Maybe you don't need it, maybe you do, who knows. Anyway, they're both on. This one's on. That's the hot water tank, and that's over here is the heater. And it looks like the same screen that I bought fits both. They're 4.5 inch screens.
Something else we like to do that we did in the other camper is we like to put a piece of like Formica vinyl that we got remnants. I think we actually got them for free, and Jim will cut it, and then we'll sit it in there in case something explodes, or so it doesn't stain this, and it gives some padding. And we'll do, so we're going to do these 3 shelves, these 2 drawers. There is already like a nice liner in these, and there isn't anything in these drawers, so I'm not doing those drawers. But we're going to do these 3, the 2 drawers, and then probably, we haven't decided yet, but we think the shelf that Jim made, I'll probably put one up there because it's plywood, and I'm not sure about this one because I don't want to lose my lip. So we're going to try to put one up there and one over here. So just to show you, I got all my stuff out. So Jim's,
What?
I'm trying to show him. Here, show him the Formica, or the vinyl that you have. It's remnants we got for free.
These are remnants we got from a local vinyl shop, and they basically, I came in and asked them so I could buy a small piece, and they said, here, you can have these. So I have this piece, and I have a piece down here.
And we have another piece at home.
They're just leftovers from a job they did.
I already showed them inside.
But they're great for putting in.
Okay, got the drawers. He's got the drawers cut. So here's the piece of vinyl. And it just slides in like that. Perfect fit. Nice and easy to clean. And if something would spill, it's easy to wipe out. We got it in this shelf. We need one for here. I already got the one up there done. So it's pretty cool. As you can see, works really good.
Remove the refrigerator out of our 26 Winnebago 2630 MLRK, and because we're not going to use a refrigerator, we're going to, it's just another device that takes electricity. Once we put solar on here, we have a refrigerator inside. I don't necessarily need one outside here, so we took the refrigerator out, just a little guy anyway, and we have a electrical outlet that they just screwed to the base with that single screw, kind of sitting there. But one thing I also noticed, if you look back in here, this is the first year that they didn't put a sink in this area. In the old ones there was a sink right here instead of the drawer. There was a sink in this instead of a drawer. But they still ran the water lines for a sink, and they just capped them off, which is not the greatest thing, but they're there. So I don't know if I'm going to utilize those for anything or not, but I don't think so. So what we have here is an opening now that's 18 inches wide, 18.5 by 23 inches deep, that I can use. It's about 20 inches higher, so for a pizza oven, which is what we're going to use this space for. So I think I need to take off that outlet and relocate it or move it over some so I can still slide a pizza oven in here. And then those 2 water lines I don't think we're going to use for anything. Accessories we're going to add. I'd like to add a paper towel holder out here somewhere, so I've got a Camco Papa Towel. We're using one of these inside, it works really well. And we got a bumper cap that keeps out bugs. See the holes in it? Instead of having the holes that are that big. And I've got a bunch of command hooks here. I'm going to hang some of these accessories up on the wall here so they're easy to get to. The drawer is filling up fairly quick, so I like to get some of this stuff out of the drawer, maybe hang it up on this side too.
There's the pop-up paper towel holder. Jim got it all up there and organized. He's put up some hooks. So we have a cleaner, a thermometer there, that one, and then in here he put some more hooks so we can put our broom, some cooking utensils, and some other cooking utensils. Now all we have to do is get a pizza oven, and I think I'm going to ask for one for Christmas, and that's what will go there.
So here's a picture of the bumper cover that we got from Camco, and with the screen on it, the bug screen, and these stay on really well. You just can squeeze them here in the middle and they pop right off, snap on. Now the other side, we went to a local hardware store, Menards, and we found this from Camco also, and it's a magnetic bumper cover, but it actually has a place on it on the back side that actually attaches to your sewer hose, so that you can actually just pull your sewer hose out using the cover. That's great, and you have to reach in there and try to grab it. But it's also got holes in it, which is really nice. We really like that. It's stayed on now for a few trips, so it's been perfect. Our old camper, the old 213 RDS, the Coachman, we keep our supplies in here in totes. So when you reach in and grab something, usually you drag it across, you know, this entryway here, and it's just rubber, and that's the seal. And on the bottom usually is where you drag you know, the totes across, and it basically, on our old Coachman, we wore this seal out real quick because we were just dragging totes across it. So what we ended up doing after it was already almost wore out, we added some angle iron pieces like this to the inside like this, and basically it kept the rubber from getting you know, wear and tear on the rubber. So all I had to do is mount, you know, a piece of angle iron like this on there, and then with the tote, when I pull it out, it would just drag across this and just hit the angle iron. So I went and got a 36-inch piece of it's actually a 36-inch piece of 1/4 inch or 1/16 inch thick, I guess, 1/2 inch, which is that measurement, by 3/4 inch, which is the tall side here. Got a 36-inch piece, cut it into 9-inch pieces, and we're going to mount those on the inside just like I showed you here. So that should make a nice place to just basically drag your tote across without ruining the rubber seal here. So I need to get some holes drilled and find some screws, and we'll get these mounted. Okay, so here is the first side, the door side of the camper installed, and you can see I put this piece of metal there on both sides of the, so one over here and one over here. There's a divider, and that must be what holds it together. So now when you reach in to grab a tote, if you drag it out like this, you're not actually rubbing on the rubber here itself. You're actually rubbing on the angle iron, or angle aluminum in this case. So I need to go put these on the other side. Just 2 screws really is all it needs to hold it in. 2 screws. One there, and one there for each one. 2 screws for each one. And I forgot one other thing here. We got from Amazon, a 50 amp surge suppressor, a new generation. But anyway, it's a 12,000 joules protection. Let me put it up real quick here. Packaged pretty nice. Instruction sheet, protector, circuit analyzer they call it, with surge protection. And it's got the rain cover on it. So there's what it looks like with the plastic removed. It's a circuit analyzer. It tells you if the power's on, it tells you if it open neutral, open ground, missing line 1, 125 volt, line 2, 125 volt. It tells you if line 1 is neutral is reversed, and line 2 is the neutral reversed. And if there's no lights on, there's no power. So you can see those 5 lights there. Pretty nice. It's fairly large. I like it's nice and beefy. Doesn't bend too well, as you can see, but good enough. It's got a place where you can put a lock on it if you think somebody's going to steal your surge protector. And here's our surge protector in action here. You can see it just hangs down, and the connection there is covered by the plastic cover to keep it rainproof. So these are the upgrades that we've done initially to the camper. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few more that we're going to do in the future here. You're always changing things when you buy something like this. There's always something new coming out, or you think of a better way that you can be more organized or make things a little bit easier when you go camping. But we've liked every upgrade we've done so far. Everything's worked out really well, and we hope you enjoy watching this video of the upgrades. And thanks for watching.